Hey everybody, it's Chase with AVA Pop Culture again, and today we continue our spooky season focused content with Monster Mondays and a look at the top 10 Bigfoot movies of all time. So pop that tape in, I got you, let's go do this. All right, so Bigfoot movies. So this isn't a list of just horror movies. Bigfoot is a monster, a creature. It's a creature feature, and honestly, it is a underserved subgenre. And a lot of the films that have been made are just they're not up there. It is a genre that I like. I'm into Bigfoot randomly. I kind of believe that he probably exists or something like that exists out there. So like I am into that. I kind of want to see more of that. And I put together what I consider the top 10 best Bigfoot films out there. And I know there are a lot more than this. It lends itself a lot to found footage. So if you don't like found footage, you know, some of these movies may not be for you. I do have them ranked in order. And we're going to start with the one that I just saw for the first time that I got from Severin Films when my sale stuff finally arrived. But before we do that, I want to talk about, so every Monster Monday where I do a Monster Monday film, my wife Risha makes a themed treat for us to like watch one or two of these movies with. And this time it is going to be Big Feet. So if you look at those, this is a chocolate like pretzel. If you look at the bottom, it's pretzels. So it's like a chocolate pretzel, coconut, and almond treat there. I just think they're so cool looking. Bigfoot. It's like before I cut my toenails. But a lot of fun. All right, the chocolate and crunch, and I'm a big fan of coconut. They got little snow on there, but a lot of fun. Ooh, I gotta take a drink of my drink now. It's super sweet. A lot of fun, and just a little thing we do to kind of make physical media and watching movies together with the family a whole lot more fun. But back to my list here, coming in at number 10 from 1980 is Video Nasty Legend, Night of the Demon. This is the Blu-ray I got from Severin Films, and I watched this, and honestly, the only reason it's on this list, because I don't think it's a very good movie, the reason it's on this list is because it's kind of famous, or more rather infamous. And I think I said it's from 1980, and you have the movie just has like this cold start where this guy is in a hospital bed. He's being questioned. His face is covered. And turns out he's an anthropologist. And he took a group of students out in the woods to try to document this. And the whole movie is told in flashbacks, like in a flashback, because he's telling the story. But within the flashbacks, there are other story flashbacks or flash sideways and stuff that he could not have possibly known. So it can kind of get confusing. The movie gets downright disturbing in some places. Like there is, there's for sure some nudity and stuff, but like a guy gets his penis ripped off while taking a leak. There is a Bigfoot rape scene in this, which is absolutely disturbing. There is a big ending scene sort of in the cabin in the woods where you see Bigfoot attack them, and you see what happens to the anthropologist who's telling the story. And there's kind of a goof there that you can see. When he gets attacked, his whole face is messed up, but when he's telling the story, it's only half his face down here. It's a low budget. It's video nasty. It is disturbing. There is a sex scene in a van where they basically just reused the sex noises for the attack noises. It's messed up, but it is an infamous Bigfoot movie, so it comes in here on our list at number 10. At number 9 is one from 2019. It's a Dread Central movie called Hoax. And Hoax I've only seen a couple times. It's supposed to take place in the woods of Colorado, and it's another one of those found footage type. They're going out to document whether or not this is a hoax, and they're trying to find, footage on Bigfoot. And there is some twists there. It turns out that Bigfoot is likely real, but there's also a family in the woods, and I don't want to give everything away, but there's a family in the woods who are using that and dressing up as Bigfoot to scare and kill people for a specific reason. And so it's this group of people that are out there investigating. They kind of start to turn on one another. It gets crazy. It's not one that is like a ton of rewatchability, but it did have an interesting twist there at the end, and I don't want to give it away. But Hoax from 2019, done by Dread Central, comes in at number 9. At number 8 is another one. I only have a few of these on physical media. A lot of these are kind of hard to come by on physical media. But number 8 is Bigfoot, The Lost Coast tapes, and that's from 2012. And again, you have a found footage type situation here. There's investigative journalist. I think his character's name is Sean Reynolds. He's like a disgraced journalist. He had this show about paranormal activities and different things like that. And he went all in on something on his show that he thought was real, and it was a hoax. So he was disgraced. And now he hears tell of a man on Northern California's Lost Coast who has a dead Bigfoot body. And now he's determined to get his credibility back kind of by going and proving the other side that this is a hoax. And so he offers the man $75,000, I think it is, to come and see the body, document it, and he's going to try to prove it's a hoax and get his credibility back. But it turns out to be the opposite this time. So the guy can't guess right on hoax or not hoax. But it is it's a little bit, it's higher quality of a found footage film and a little bit different, interesting take. And I think it's one that kind of deserves to be on the list. Again, a lot of these, if you don't like found footage, it's just Bigfoot is one of those that lends itself to it. So it may not be the best genre for you, but there are some on here that aren't found footage. But Bigfoot, The Lost Coast tapes from 2012 comes in at number 8 on our list. At number 7 on our list is one that has been around forever. It's 1972's The Legend of Boggy Creek. Now, I have this one on order. I just got it on the recent sale from Vinegar Syndrome. Seen this several times. This is also this one's actually rated G, so anybody can watch this. This one's from 72, and it's done documentary style and kind of, it's Bigfoot-esque. They are searching for and documenting the search and the legend of the Arkansas folk monster, or Falk monster, however you want to say it. But it also kind of explores like the lower class, like swamp culture people in Arkansas at this time. So it's a little bit different. You do catch glimpses of the monster though. And it's kind of like a classic. It's one that people have known about because it came only about 5 years maybe after the Patterson film with the Bigfoot, the famous Bigfoot film, where it's supposed to be real footage of Bigfoot. So it's a classic. I've got it coming on physical media. It comes in on our list at number 7. At number 6 on our list is 2013's Willow Creek. Now, it's good to come right back behind what I was just talking about with this. This film was actually written and directed by Bobcat Goldthwait. I can never say his last name. Goldthwait. It was written and directed by him. It's another found footage. You have a couple here, a boyfriend and girlfriend who are going to, the boyfriend is obsessed with Bigfoot. They're going to legendary Willow Creek. They're going to the spot of the 1967 Patterson Gimli film. The famous, Bigfoot looks over his shoulder video, to kind of film and gather footage for themselves, do some investigating, because 50 years of, is it a hoax? Is it not? Is this footage real? Is that footage real? Is this stuff real? Is this stuff real? So they're going to go out there, and the girlfriend's just kind of going along for the ride. This one is a very slow burn. Again, the found footage style. There's some pretty intense scenes. Like there's a lot of long scenes in the movie, and there's a really long scene in the tent, where the two of them are in the tent and it's nighttime and you're hearing these noises outside and they're getting more and more scared, and the tension just keeps ramping up as it goes. And, but you got to have patience for that, because it's not like a bunch of things jumping out of boo holes to get you. So it's kind of a slow burn tension. So it's a little bit different with found footage in that way, but it is, it's well done. It's really as well done as you can do a found footage film, really. And kind of a different take on it, and maybe kind of say more believable way. And a fun little bit of trivia: Bobcat Goldthwait does all of like the sounds for the Bigfoot in the movie. So pretty interesting. Willow Creek, pretty famous too, comes in on our list at number 6. Now, number 5 on this is one that I just saw, like maybe first time like a year ago, I think. And then I watched it again getting ready for this list. And that is 2018's Primal Rage. Now, there's a Vinegar Syndrome title, not to be confused with that, that's also called Primal Rage, which is about a serum that affects like monkeys and stuff like that, and then causes people to become beast-like and all. Not that movie. This movie, Primal Rage, is clearly about Bigfoot. It has some found footage elements, but it is not like a found footage movie at all. So it's like more standard storytelling. But the way I would describe this movie is Predator meets the Bigfoot. The creature design in this movie is among the best. I really think it is. And if you watch this, you'll know what I mean when I say that it's meets the Predator with the way the Bigfoot's mouth does. But the Bigfoot in this looks crazy. This movie is crazy, though. There is all kinds of things thrown at this movie. You have unsavory locals that this couple meets on their drive through the Pacific Northwest, and then they get out here and all this stuff starts happening in the woods. So you meet some unsavory locals. There's Native Americans and shamans, and there's witches in this. The Bigfoot is real in this, and there's way more than one of them. And they hunt with bows and arrows. They camouflage themselves. So it's supposed to be kind of like, this is part of the reason why you don't see them so much. They know how to camouflage themselves. There is like a rape scene in this. It is pretty crazy. There's a great fight scene. Like towards the end, you get a very Predator, Arnold Schwarzenegger versus Predator showdown. But I enjoyed it overall. It's got a lot of action. There's probably a lot of it that could be cut out and streamline the movie better, but I did enjoy it enough to watch it again, and I'd probably watch it again because the creature design is absolutely awesome. And so Primal Rage comes in at number 5 on our list. At number 4 on our list is one that a lot of people consider like the definitive Bigfoot horror film, and that is 2006 Abominable. I always get tongue-tied when I say that. So you kind of got like the Abominable snowman / Bigfoot. And this movie is got just littered with people that you know. You got Dee Wallace in here. You got Tiffany Shepis in here. You got Lance Henriksen in here. You got Jeffrey Combs in here. You got Rex Lynn in here. If the guy you'll know if you don't know who I'm talking about. I'm trying to think. Oh, Paul Gleason is in this movie. So it's littered with like names and faces that you know, and it's really about a guy who had an accident while like rock climbing, and now he's like rehabbing in this remote cabin in the woods. He realizes there is a monster out there. He's trying to get people to believe him before this monster goes on a bloody rampage, and of course he can't get people to believe him. But the movie does kind of jump around a little bit. Like there's a group of girls over here that it goes to. You got the townspeople that he's trying to convince. You got Dee Wallace over here. Like it kind of jumps around a little bit. And it's almost like maybe sometimes it's too much trying to get all these cameos and these people in and their points and their scenes versus staying on the story. But it's a good movie. The ending is kind of like a bah, 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 kind of reveal. And it's a pretty good monster design in here. Action, fun. I mean, it's got a lot of what you want. It's not like a all, handheld shaky cam footage movie. So if you prefer more standard movie, again, like with Primal Rage, you're going to like this better. But Abominable comes in at number 4 on my list. At number 3 on my list is maybe what I consider the most realistic of them all. So I find it the most scary. And it is 2014's Exists. This is done by the director of the Blair Witch Project. So yes, it's found footage. It follows this group that goes into the Texas woods, which is interesting, to, hang out. And, of course, we're found footage, so we're going to be looking for something. They don't intend to be going to look for, like, necessarily. This isn't like a setting out on an expedition necessarily. And this portrays Bigfoot as extremely intelligent. And while it, other movies make Bigfoot like a killer and a violent monster, this movie does too. But when you watch it and you watch it all the way through to the end and you get explanation, you totally understand why the Bigfoot is attacking these people. But the way it looks and the way it's acted and filmed, even with a found footage element, and then the explanation and then the animal's behavior and all that, to me, it is bar none the most realistic of all of these movies. 100%. I feel like this is a realistic portrayal, or as realistic as you can get, of Bigfoot. So it's scary. It's more real. I think it's more of how it would happen. So that just adds a scare factor to me, and it brings Exists to number 3 on my list. And number 2 on my list is a movie that I've talked about before, and it's right there in the title. I'm talking about 2000 and I believe it's 18's The Man Who Killed Hitler and Then the Bigfoot. And so, Bigfoot, what's going to happen. It's right there in the title, right? This movie is a tour de force of acting by Sam Elliott. We get Sam Elliott in flashbacks, and it is hinted that he is a super soldier that took serum, a la Captain America. This is even laid out more in the line in the movie that this isn't the superhero story that you're used to or that you're looking for. But he, as a young man, it shows a flashback. As a young man, he was undercover with the Nazis, and he kills Hitler right at the very end of World War II. And then all these years later, he is called upon again by clandestine, American, part of the American armed services that's off the books. He's called upon again to come and save America one more time from a threat. This time the threat is the Bigfoot, which is carrying a virus that could wipe out all of mankind. And because of his blood type and because of what was done to him to make him this super soldier. And nothing is ever right on the nose explained. You just have to piece it together. Um, because of because of what was done to him, he is now immune to it. And he's like the only one who can go and stop Bigfoot before he brings the disease that wipes out all of humanity. So he's called once again into service, but he's dealing with PTSD. He's dealing with a life where he was considered a hero that nobody knew about, really, and he's considered a hero for killing someone, and it's carried him all through his life. He lost his love interest, so it's about loss and grieving, and then just like doing the right thing when you yourself, like when the right thing is horrible. I mean, he doesn't even want to kill this thing, but if he doesn't, billions of people could literally die. So, it's a tough loss. And I read that, Sam Elliott wanted to do this movie so badly because of that range of that loss, but that sense of duty to always make things right and protect someone else, even if it costs you in your life. And Bigfoot does make an appearance. He has a showdown, a fight with Bigfoot. You get to go back and see what happens with Hitler, all that stuff. It is all there. You get to see the whole, I'll see how much I can put in here. I don't know if it'll copyright me. You get to see how it went down with Hitler. You get to see how it went down with Bigfoot. But you get this amazing storytelling, and I like how it doesn't put everything on the nose. You can fill in the gaps for yourself. And if you're smart, and if you're just looking for campy stuff, this is not it. And if you need everything explained, this is not it. But if you're looking for something to think about on a deep level and take little pieces of the movie, little things, because in life, everybody doesn't just always sit down and explain everything and show everything out to you. You have to kind of piece together things for yourself and think about it deeply. This is a movie for you. It is super crazy title, outstanding acting, filming. This is not a found footage in any way, shape, or form. But this is a really good movie, The Man Who Killed Hitler, and then The Bigfoot, and it comes in at number 2 on our list.
This isn't what I wanted. I'm sorry.
All right, at number 1 on our list, there is absolutely no question the best Bigfoot movie ever made, still standing to this day, 37 odd years later. I'm talking about 1987's Harry and the Hendersons. This movie was my favorite as a kid. It is still my favorite Bigfoot movie. The look of Bigfoot is iconic. The portrayal of Bigfoot is great. The makeup, the visual effects on this, the practical effects, the practical costumes still holds up today. John Lithgow and his family in this, but particularly John Lithgow, just absolutely sells this. And it's one of my favorite John Lithgow performances. I mean, you can tell he really loves Harry.
Dr. Wrightwood, say hello to Harry.
And it's a comedy for sure. It's extremely heartwarming. The end of this is like a oh crap moment too, when you realize that there are countless Bigfoots out there. But you know, they portray him as a vegetarian, which could totally be true. Who knows? But this movie is so much fun. It was a rite of passage as a kid. It came out when I was like 8 years old, maybe 9. I mean, I wore this thing out, and this awesome set from Turbine here was super cool. This media book, you get this whole story in here. Absolutely love this piece of physical media. And everywhere else in the world, the movie was called Bigfoot and the Hendersons. But I love this artwork. I love this movie. I still think this is the best Bigfoot movie ever made. It's not a horror. Not all these were horror. I want to see someone do another like a really, really good Bigfoot movie, a Bigfoot horror film, and do it the right way. And but it's going to be hard ever to knock Harry and the Hendersons off the top of the mountain when it comes to Bigfoot movies for me. So that is my list for Monster Mondays Bigfoot films. Let me know, have you ever watched any of these films? Is it a subgenre that you don't really care about? Are there other good ones that I missed? Please let me know in the comments. Any of these that you haven't seen that you're interested in seeing, talk to me down below. And if you've enjoyed this, we do all kinds of stuff here. Right now it's spooky season focused, but we do 4K reviews from a fan and filmmaker's perspective. I do lists, I do rankings, I do physical media news, physical media talk, all of that kind of stuff. If that sounds like something you're interested in, please like and subscribe below. It really does help out the channel. If you want to help support the channel, you can join below right here on YouTube or at the link at my Patreon. The only difference there is I can do a little bit more on Patreon and they take a little bit less, but otherwise it's the same stuff for you. You're going to get your name in lights here. You're going to get behind the scenes of my filmmaking, behind the scenes and special videos here. I'm working on a couple special members videos now. You'll get some early access and all that kind of stuff. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, you can find those links below, but you don't have to do any of that. As I always say, to hang around and help me out, just like, subscribe, ring that bell, and spread the AV Pop Culture word. And until next time, be kind, rewind like always. This is Chase with AV Pop Culture, and I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye. I know.